What's up, guys? The big topic on everybody's mind in MLB baseball right now is, what would be a better signing, Machado or Harper? And I'm just going to kind of walk you through a couple things that I think about that topic and why I think that Machado has a swing that's going to age better than Harper's if he doesn't make a small upper half change. So when we're looking at Harper's swing here, the one flaw that he's had for most of his career is that he's kind of a slasher. So when he gets into his foot landing like this, or heel plant, or whatever you want to call it. Now, I picked out the swing from 2015 because I think this was kind of Harper at the peak of his powers. And I wanted to pick really the best swing that I could find on him, and he hits this one in the upper deck, so I thought it was a good option. But Harper has always been a little bit of a slasher, so you're going to see the distinct differences between Machado's upper half on the right and Harper's upper half on the left. And Harper kind of brings the knob to the ball a little bit and really throws his back hand at the ball pretty aggressively. So you'll see, if I track where his hand is now to where his backhand is at contact, he kind of stabs it out a little bit at the pitch. Now, because the pitch's height isn't really low, he's still able to maintain a decent forearm angle to be able to drive this pitch into the seats. But on lower pitches, he has a tendency to stab down even more. And because of this, I'm not a huge fan of the way Harper uses his upper half, or has used his upper half in the past. In 2018, he made a little bit of change. I literally just did a breakdown on this yesterday, where he was turning his shoulders further in, and that was giving him better barrel depth. When I say better, I just mean he was getting his barrel in the way back here a little bit more than he's doing in these videos. But because he was over closing his shoulders, when I say over closing, I mean when he'd land like this, his shoulders were literally really closed like this in his 2018 swing. It made the distance that he had to travel in order to get his bat to this inside pitch, the same one that he'd be like hitting right here, much further than it is in this case. So it made him have to gamble a little bit more to get to those pitches, which increased his strikeout numbers. And I have his swing right here from 2018, and I think that this is a really good view of it. So, sorry, I'll clear this up so it's not as busy. Here's heel plant right there, and you can see that instead of landing with his hips way open and his shoulders square to the pitcher, he's landing with his shoulders really closed. But you can see that his barrel enters the zone pretty fast sideways. You'll see it goes this way into the zone and not so out. But as a result, that makes him a little bit more susceptible to inside pitches if he uses that barrel shape every time. So here's another view of it. Same swing. Once again, shoulders pretty closed at landing, hips not open at landing, which makes him longer that inside pitch and not quite as able to crush that. So we'll look at this one more time. I'm not going to beat a dead horse and talk about this forever because I just did a video on this yesterday. Check it out if you're interested. But you can see Harper right here, boom, heel plant, shoulders really in, and you'll see the difference in barrel shape here. His barrel will turn more aggressively into the path of the pitch back here. But because his shoulders are more closed, it made it harder to get to these pitches. So he had to decide to swing at those pitches a little bit early, which made him strike out more. So we want to have those shoulders a little bit more square at landing, like so, which is why I grade this swing out higher than the other one. Now, if we can land with our shoulders more square at landing, Machado does a pretty good job of that. Okay, so here's heel plant. Boom, right there. His shoulders are probably at the second baseman, maybe a little bit left of that, but you can see his hips were able to work open at landing here. But his back scap is still really retracted, so it's still pulled way back here behind him. And you'll see the difference in upper half right here. So you'll see Machado is able to turn his barrel flatter and enter the zone kind of like Harper was on his 2018 swing, but he does it without having to overly close his shoulders, which allows him to be quick to this spot right here and be fast to hitting the pitch deep like this, but also fast to hitting the pitch out front here. So he doesn't have to gamble so early to get these pitches. So as it stands, I think Machado has a better chance of his swing aging successfully in the bigs because he's made most of his time or most of his money off the fact that his bat's in the way of the ball for so long in his swing. It's really incredible, actually. I mean, his upper half is near perfect. So you'll see when he gets started here, you can see he does a really good job of keeping his bicep or humerus or whatever you want to call it in line with his rib cage here, okay, with his back forearm going up and his front arm kind of holding this box shape as he swings. Some guys that talk about hitter's box, Matt Antonelli is someone that talks about that. Baseball Rebellion talks about that as well. But he does a really, really good job at doing this. And the reason this is so important is because it gives him a last tool of adjustment. So if he needs to extend and break this hitter's box and reach out to hit a ball, he can. But Harper, because he slashes a little bit, he just kind of shoots his hands more out at the ball, which doesn't allow him to make as many mid-swing adjustments as Machado, which is why I think Machado's age is better. Now, Harper has made most of his money in his career off the fact that he turns probably faster than anyone in the major leagues. Like, it's absurd how good his rotational power is in the batter's box. So if he can get his upper half figured out and work a little bit more like Machado's, I think Harper has a chance to be, the best player in baseball, maybe even better than Mike Trout, especially because his walk rate is really good. His on-base percentage over his career is 388, which is really, really good. Takes a ton of walks. And I think that if he's able to get his upper half figured out, then it's going to raise up his career batting average. It's probably going to make him slug better as well. And also, once again, raise that on-base percentage even more. So I think that Harper has the greatest upside if he makes a couple little swing changes with his upper half. But if everything stays the same, I think Machado is a better bet currently. If you guys have questions, feel free to email me, kurt@ignitebaseball.org. I'm happy to answer anything that may come to mind. Hope you guys are having a great day and have a happy holidays.